All right, in this video, guys, we're going to talk a lot about how you identify certain selling points. So the first thing we're going to look to identify is pain. And guys, typically the pain lives in the first answer. Now, most prospects are going to start with surface level answers. It's on us for us to be able to add the additional follow-ups to dig a little bit deeper. Walk me through that. What happens because of that? How long has this been affecting your team? Why does this affect your team? At the end of the day, I've found that there are two types of pain. There is a technical pain and an emotional pain. Like in a technical pain is kind of more process gaps, inefficiencies, wasted time, to where emotional pain is more of the frustration, like the anxiety, the pressure, the fear of missing targets. So you've got to be able to distinguish between those because every single one of your prospects has a different perspective on that. And you might talk to multiple prospects inside of the same business, inside of the same company, who are attacking you being a solution to very different pains. Pain must be qualified for it to have power, though. Like, in order for us to be able to sell it, we have to be able to qualify it. How much does this problem cost you a week? Does this problem cost business? When this happens, what happens? The more specific you can get your customer to speak to these details, the easier you're going to be able to help solve them. Now, the next thing we're looking to identify after pain would be value. And once again, it's your determination and ability for you to determine, I have enough value to close the gap. And the question I always ask myself at the end of the discovery is, did I find enough gaps in what they do for what they pay compared to what I do versus what I'm going to charge them? Did I find enough value? Will I be able to close the value gap? And so every single customer is going to have a slightly different answer to that. But I should have a pretty good awareness of where the customer lies in regards to what type of gaps I need to be able to uncover to justify if I can actually close them. And then the last thing we would identify, and we're able to uncover a lot of this right in that soft close area, but you need to do the work before you get to the soft close because they're going to start feeling the sale in the soft close. And if you have to go back in the discovery, you're likely going to find yourself up against a bit of a wall in getting the customer to reopen up. But at the end of the day, what we need to think about is, who else is a part of the decision? What are their pain points? What is their value proposition? How many steps do we need to go? Is this going to be a quick decision-making process, a short process? Are they already in the market? Are we introducing the idea of change to them? Because there's benefits and perks of both. If they're already in the market, then we're not competing against the idea of change. We're competing against the competition that we're going to go up against in the change. But if we're introducing the idea of change, we likely have to understand we're up against a timeline. Potentially other partners and other competition will be introduced. But our biggest competition is, are we actually going to be able to convince them that making a change makes sense? And then can we avoid them looking at other options in this process? What are their primary decision-making process going to be built on? Is it going to be on efficiencies, effectiveness, feature set, budget constraint, timelines? All of these things can all come into play in regards to getting clarity, in regards to the whole decision-making process. And for me, I would tell you, don't rush to get to the soft close until you really feel like you've mastered identifying the pain, identifying the value, and identifying any roadblocks that'll come up in the decision-making criteria before you transition to the soft close.